Hi everyone, Darius Maxxxine here, back again with another YouTube video. And today we are doing 31 Days of Horror. Now, but you may be wondering, why are you doing 31 Days of Horror not in October, and you're doing it in like February or March, whenever this video comes out? And to that, I'd say mind your business. First of all, and second of all, I missed my deadline to do 31 Days of Horror by like a while, but I still want to do the video, and because I watched 31 movies, and I just can't, just watch movies and not talk about it on this channel. Like, that's not who I am. That's not me. So yeah, I'm just gonna do the video because I fucking want to, and it's my YouTube, so okay. And also, horror and Halloween could be like every single day, like, hello. Anyway, and this is gonna be a speed round version because since I'm so late, so I'm gonna like try to talk about each movie within like a minute or like maybe 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna keep going. You gotta follow. All the movies are gonna be posted in the description, and yeah, let's get started. First, I watched the first Omen, and it was pretty good. I liked the build-up and the setup of the story, and I also liked the biblical vision, like the shots and stuff. But yeah, when the twists and turns started to happen, I wasn't shocked because it's a prequel, so we already know what's gonna happen. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next, I watched the original Omen for the first time, and I really liked it. It was kind of kooky. It was like a kooky movie, though it was in the 70s, so it was kind of like all over the place. But it's like a pretty staple horror movie because like we've seen like a million of them come out afterwards. So for that, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Next, I kind of watched the same movie 3 times. I watched Immaculate. I watched Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney, and that movie was not that great. Like, I love Sydney Sweeney and her acting, but like it was fine. It was just a very average movie, like literally a copycat of like the Omen. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Next, I watched Gaia. Oh my gosh, this movie was terrible. Like, the only thing I liked about this movie was the visuals, like, because it's about like a forest and like forest attacking people. So like if you like into body horror, you'll love this movie. But like, besides that, I just did not like this movie. Like, the story was bad, the characters were pretty all over the place. Like, I just didn't like it. So I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, only because those visuals really saved that movie. Jesus Christ. Next, I watched Suitable Flesh, and Camp. That whole movie was just pure camp, and I loved it. The acting was funny, the story was funny, the body like switching shit was just, it was all funny and kooky and camp. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. I just didn't like the ending because the ending was like, you could have done more. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Next, I watched the original Fright Night, and I loved it. I loved the original Fright Night. I liked like the cat and mouse chase between like the vampire and like the main character. I liked the transformations. I liked the suspense. It was great. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. Next, I watched Watcher. Oh, such a good movie. Like, I seen clips of it, and I was like, I gotta watch that movie, but I never got the opportunity to. But then I watched it, and it was really good. Acting was great. Suspenseful story. You didn't know if you believed her or not. I already believed her because women's intuition never like fails. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Then I watched They, presented by Wes Craven. Jesus fucking Christ. Whoever put Wes Craven's name on this should be fucking ashamed themselves. Like, this movie was horrible. it led to nowhere. Like, the suspense was just not there, and like the creatures were terrible. Like, granted, it is 2002, so graphics weren't really the best, but like, shit. Horrible movie. I gave it a 1 because I don't give movies zeros because someone still made the movie, but 1, fucking terrible. Next, I watched The Stranger, which is also another film with what's that actress name? Micah Monroe. She was just in the fucking Watcher, but now she's in this movie called The Stranger. Camp. Another kind of camp movie. Granted, this movie was originally a series on Quibi. If y'all remember Quibi, weird. It was originally on there, but then they re-edited it to be a movie, and you can tell it was supposed to be a series instead of a movie. But other than that aspect, the villain was just so camp, and like, he was so evil. It was like camp evil, you know? If you get it, you get it. Other than that, it was still, I think, a solid movie. It was entertaining. I'll give you that. It was very entertaining. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I was just laughing my ass off the whole movie. Okay, next I watched The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. Ooh, I really want to talk more about this movie, but I don't have the time to. It was pretty bad, but for like specific reasons. The main thing for me is that, like, okay, then this is not a spoiler, it shows in the trailer. You brought your brother back to life, right? But like, you don't really like try to humanize him, try to like teach him, hey, you came back to life. She didn't do any of that. She was just, it's just that alone was like really like frustrating. And also the whole, I'm in the hood, but I'm a smart girl going to like a prestigious school. Like, that trope has been done like time and time again. So like, I'm kind of over it at this point. And also, it's just that, whatever. I can't talk about this movie too long because I'm trying to speed round. But it was pretty bad, but I liked some aspects of the movie. Whatever. So, 2 out of 5. Next, I watched Wounds by that cannibal guy. Not by him, but he's in it. Armie Hammer. It was pretty okay. I kind of like that it was set in New Orleans, but like, it was that one of those movies where like, it all built up into like a shocking ending, which, granted, those movies that do that, you have to do it well. The build up has to be worth the shocking ending. But when the shocking ending happened, I'm like, okay, is there more? And then there wasn't, and then it was the end. So I was like, oh fuck, it wasn't worth it to me. When movies do that, it has to be worth it, and it wasn't. Like, the whole movie was just built, shocking ending, and then it over, you know? But it wasn't like a good build up anyway. So I gave it a 2.5. Also, I was confused the whole fucking movie. It was a weird one. Okay, next I watched In a Violent Nature. This movie is definitely not for everybody, but I personally loved it because it was something different. And I kind of liked the perspective of it, the killer being the perspective. So, yeah, I liked it. It had great kills, and the story made sense. But it was very, like... But the ending was pretty horrible to me. Horrible ending. Or, like, horrible third act. Because the third act really just... You like, I was on a high, but then, like, that third act really, like, tanked it. So... I gave it a 3 out of 5. Next, I watched Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Hilarious. Camp. Like, there's a few camp movies in this list, but it was camp. I loved it. It was just visually, like, funny, but also scary. And, like, the clowns were, like, disgusting to look at, but also really cool. And, like, the spaceship sequence was great. I, like, really loved this movie. It was really good. Yeah, I can see why it's a cult classic. 4.5. Next, I watched Thanksgiving, and it was pretty good for. It's a pretty solid slasher, if I'm like being honest. I really loved the setup. The beginning the first act of the movie was great. Like, it made sense why the killer was like killing people, because the event, like, really, like, oh yeah, I understand why. And like, the acting was pretty good, but then when it came to like the metaphors and the callbacks within the movie, it was not that great, and it was very cliche. Like, I understand this is a slasher, and like, this slasher has been done like a million times. It's just, you know, so it could have been more, but the kills were great, the setup was great, so I gave it a 4, honestly. Okay, next I watched Lisa Frankenstein, and oh my gosh, I'm so mad at myself that I didn't go to the theater to watch this, because this movie was fucking great. Like, it's for the girls, the gays, and theys. If you didn't get it, you just don't get it, and that's fine. But like, wow, this was really fucking good. Like, it's just a complex story about like love and teenage angst and just trying to figure out the world through trauma. Oh, it had a lot going for it. So, loved it. 4.5. Really fucking great. Wish I saw it in theaters. Terrifier 3. Now, I love the Terrifier movies. Okay, 1 and 2 were like pretty good. Well, let me slow down. 2 was pretty good. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry. 1 was pretty good. 2 was really fucking good. 3, this one, mixed feelings, because of course I love art, I love the kills. I like that they finally added more lore to like why art exists, what's going on with the demon bitch that was in the second movie. I love that they added to that, but that fucking ending really fucking blew me, because like, main character girl, Sienna, girl, that third act, that ending, you fucking blew me. Cause you was doing stupid shit. You was smart the whole fucking movie. You was trying to warn people that art is back, and then you do that ending. That ending really fucking pissed me off. Like, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. I'm passionate. So I gave it a 3.5 because that ending really fucking blew me. Whew. Okay. Next, it's Maxxxine. Maxxxine, from the X trilogy. I liked it. I can see why people thought it wasn't the strongest one, because it isn't the strongest movie. Like, the story kind of like dipped after like the reveal of like who is the person that's causing all this chaos. But other than that, I loved it. I loved Maxxxine as a character. I liked the whole aesthetic of like 80s in like 80s film and 80s like sex work going on at the same time. Love that. And Maxxxine is like a really street smart character, and like I loved how she like relied on people around her to like help her, but she was like still wary of like who to trust. Like, I thought she was a really street smart character, so I gave it a 3.5. Next, Piggy. I'm not gonna say a lot about this movie because it's like I literally wrote in my review, like, this movie could have been over in the first 20 minutes. Yeah, like, it could have been over in 20 minutes and then I would have been satisfied. Like, it really could have been a short film, but then after those 20 minutes, the film just goes back and forth between like the main character trying to do the right thing, and I'm just like, babe, you could have ended it right there and I would have been satisfied. Like, so it was like a short film that should have been a short film. So I gave it a 3 because that character was confused, and I don't like when my final girls are too confused. Anyway, next I watched The Love Witch, which I gotta say, story-wise, not that great, but I do love the 70s aesthetic and the 70s like filming, the Technicolor. I loved the lore that it brought. It's just that the main character was just like too in her head, like, you know, it's just like she was just like kind of like, you really doing all this for men? Ugh, girl, never. 3.5. Jesus. Okay, next film I watched, Don't Hang Up, and this is like this, like, I don't know, it was okay. Like, the acting wasn't that great. The setup wasn't really that compelling, but the reasoning and the backstory of the killer was really good. And I was kind of on his side when it revealed all that. So for that, I guess I gave it like a 2.5. It's just that also the ending was pretty good, but just the twists and turns was like cliche and obvious. So 2.5. Okay, then I watched Till Death Do Us Part. Pretty bad movie. It had a lot of action and a lot of good kills, but other than that, the story was just like all over the place, and like it kept doing time jumps, which confused me because I'm kind of slow. So like I was trying to see like, oh, so this happened before or after the wedding, or like what how does this tie into it? Like it was just a lot. It was a lot. And then the acting was just so over the top. Like it was bordering on camp, but like it was just over the top and not in a good way. So 1.5. Next, I watched Hell House LLC. Oh, bitch. This movie was good. Oh, this movie was good. Good found footage movie. Oh my gosh. Like, it really genuinely scared me. Like, it's one of the few films that I watched that I like legit got scared from it. Like, oh, loved it. Oh, it was so good. And just like, I don't know. I can't even describe it. It was just that fucking good. So 4.5. Next movie, I watched Prom Night, the original Prom Night, and it was okay. I just like, it's the 80s, so it was kind of kooky. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, so she did fucking amazing. But like, yeah. But okay, I will say it had one of the best chase scenes I've ever seen. Like, it was like pretty good. Like, I thought she was gonna get away, but like, nope, got her. But it was actually really nice. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Next movie I saw was The House on Sorority Row. Now, it is a not remake, but it's original. I watched Sorority Row, the remake, and that movie's iconic. Love that down. But I was like, let me watch the original. Watched the original. It was actually pretty good. Kind of still the same concept. It's just that their house mother got killed instead of one of their sisters. And I kind of like that aspect better because the dynamic between them was like fucking toxic as hell. Loved it. So really good kills. I liked how they was getting killed like one by one. It was great. So 4 out of 5. Next, I watched Trapped by M. Night Shyamalan, and that movie is camp. It's like camp, but also it's like a Shyamalan movie, so like it's already going to be camp. But my goodness, this movie was like pretty out there. And also the main singer is his daughter. Nepotism. Hello, great. Honestly, I gave it a 4.5 because I was just entertained. I love pop music. I like funny characters. It fits. Okay, M. Night Shyamalan, you did something with this one. So 4.5. Okay, next I watched Brahms, The Boy 2, which terrible movie. Horrible. I kind of liked the first boy, because like it was like suspense, and like you know if the doll was like a person or like an entity, but like of course you find out at the end what it was. But then this one, I'm like, okay, this is after the movie had that big reveal, so like why? It was just very unnecessary sequel to a film that barely anybody talked about when it came out. So like, why are we doing this? And then they chose to do the entity thing, but I'm like, well, where was that in the first? Girl, 1.5. It was horrible, pretty bad. Next, I watched the Slumber Party Massacre. Love camp. I just watched a lot of camp movies. I don't know why I did that. I wasn't trying to, but yeah, another camp movie where it's just killer one by one getting these bitches, and I loved it. It was great. Kills were good. Characters were like kind of not there, but I like the suspense between like the slumber party happening, and then the next door neighbors are like trying to figure out like, is there something going on next door or is there not? I kind of like that back and forth. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. Okay, next I watched the original Fog. Now we all know the remake was fucking terrible. Oh, horrendous. So I was like, let me give the original a shot. And the original, pretty good. I liked the survivors coming together and like trying to face the fog ghosts. I liked the fog ghosts. It just like for like what, the 80s, yeah, the prosthetics and stuff and makeup was like actually pretty good. So love that. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this one too, and she did great. The only thing I didn't was like her relationship between other character. It was like a little dicey. It was getting a little dicey. I don't know what age she was in the film. Well, she was 20 something in the film, but like on like the actress, but her character looked young. So I was like, is this a dynamic that's like I need to call the police on? I don't know. That's the only part I didn't like. But other than that, I give it a 4.5. I'm talking fast. Okay, next I watched A Wonderful Knife, and I gotta clock myself because like I didn't know it was like a what was that, like a retelling of It's a Wonderful Night, the Christmas story. I didn't know it was that. So like I was like, oh fuck, like why is she like experiencing like a Christmas tale, but she was. So like that's my dumb ass. But anyway, I kind of didn't like it. It just the killer was pretty okay, and like the story was alright, but like it just wasn't for me. I didn't. Also, if two characters are you gonna ship them and they're like there's some gay shit going on, can't we do that from the beginning? Because like the main character had a boyfriend and then she switched over to a girlfriend, and I was like, okay, is she gay? Is she bi? Maybe I just need labels. I don't know. But it just, I caught the vibe, but then I was like, wait, isn't she straight? But then like in the second half of the movie, she was not straight. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Anyway, I don't know. The film was there, but it just didn't mesh well for me. So I gave it a 2.5. Next, I watched Late Night with the Devil. And that movie was great. Great movie. Love original movies. We need those back in the sphere because it was original. It was suspenseful. It kind of was like blending between like found footage and like, but like on live TV. It was, I don't know. I just loved it. The ending kind of got a little blurry. I honestly, I don't know if they knew what to do at the end, because it got a little weird. It got a little like, what's going on? But besides that, the rest of the movie, great. Fantastic. Loved it. 4.5. Loved it. Just that ending, worked on it. And finally, the last movie I watched, because I wanted to cap this series off with like an iconic movie, I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the original, and I don't know how to feel about it. I can't even give it a rating because I don't know what I watched. I think in the 70s it was groundbreaking because like the shock value of like, you know, the killings and like the I don't know, the visual of like Leatherface was like probably shocking at the time. And of course this is my 2020s brain coming in, so I was like, this is not really shocking. I've seen way worse. But I'm trying to put my head in that, and just the story itself and the setup was just so like not great. It wasn't good. Honestly, this is the rare case where like the remake did it better than the original, because the groundwork for the original was like, I see why it's so iconic, but then like the execution was just like, ugh, yikes. But I will say, this also had a very iconic chase scene when Leatherface was going after that bitch, the blonde bitch, like for a good like 5 minutes. Iconic. That part was fucking iconic. So I can't even give it a rating. I kind of need to watch it again to really see what the fuck everybody's talking about. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this is below an hour long because I was trying to speed through it, but if this comes into parts, You know why, but hopefully not. I did speed through it. So thank you for joining me for 31 Days of Horror. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. It really helps my channel out. Hopefully I'm making more content, but you know me, I might be gone. But anyway, thank you. Bye.